English idioms and their origins explained. Hey there, word nerds and curious minds, ESL students, and everyone else. Today we're uncovering a number of wild and wacky English idioms, those quirky phrases that somehow found their way into our everyday language, with a little bit about where they came from, so you can understand them a little better. Be sure to subscribe and turn on the notifications bell so you'll know as soon as we release each new video. And like this one too, thanks. Phrases like spill the tea, spill the beans, spill the wine or kick the bucket, get your kicks, get some new kicks. There are lots of variations on various themes, as you can see. These sayings can be confusing for language learners, but they also make English more colorful, don't you think? Other languages have their idiomatic phrases as well. We even adopt each other's phrases as time goes on. So buckle up because we're about to uncover the origins and meanings of some of the most popular English idioms. Let's get to it. Chapter 1. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. Okay, let's start with a classic. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. This idiom is all about pragmatism and making the safe choice. Imagine you've managed to catch a bird. That's pretty awesome, right? But then you see two more chilling in a bush. Do you risk letting go of the one you have for the chance to catch the others? This idiom suggests that it's better to be content with what you have than to risk it all for something uncertain. It's a proverb that's been around for centuries, emphasizing the importance of valuing what's certain over what's merely possible. Plus, it reminds us that sometimes taking the cautious route can be the smartest move. Chapter 2. A good man or woman is hard to find. This one always makes me chuckle a little bit. It sounds so cynical, right? A good person is hard to find. But before we jump to conclusions, let's think about its historical context. This phrase actually became popular during the early 20th century, a time of significant social change and, let's face it, some serious disillusionment. The world wars, economic hardships, they all contributed to a sense of uncertainty and perhaps a touch of pessimism. So, while the phrase might sound a bit disheartening, it might have reflected the anxieties of the time rather than a universal truth. Keep the faith. Keep intuitively discerning and be on the lookout. Chapter 3. Desperate times call for desperate measures. All right, this next one is all about those high-stakes situations. Desperate times call for desperate measures. This idiom acknowledges that in extreme circumstances, we might need to resort to unconventional, even risky solutions. It's the break in case of emergency button of the idiom world. Think about it. If your house is on fire, you're not going to calmly walk out the front door. You might have to jump out a window, right? This phrase reflects that sense of urgency and the need to adapt to dire situations. It's a reminder that sometimes the usual rules don't apply when survival is on the line. Chapter 4. A leopard never changes its spots. This one is a bit of an eye-opener, isn't it? However, it does reference leopards. Humans get tattoos and new spots, even bald spots when they get other. It's often used to express the belief that people can't fundamentally change their nature, especially their flaws. This idiom has roots in ancient fables and even appears in religious texts, highlighting its enduring presence in our collective consciousness. It speaks to the human tendency to categorize and label both ourselves and others. However, it's essential to remember that people are complex. While our core values might remain relatively stable, we're constantly evolving and learning. So maybe a leopard can't change its spots, but humans can and do, sometimes. We have a bit more potential for growth. Chapter 5. Time for a phrase that's near and dear to my health-conscious heart. You are what you eat. You're also what you subscribe to and like. So please do smash those buttons all the way down. Thanks much. So this idiom emphasizes the connection between our physical well-being and the food we consume. It's a reminder that nourishing our bodies with wholesome foods can have a positive impact on our overall health. Think about it. When you eat junk food, you feel sluggish and blah, right? But when you eat fruits, vegetables, and all that good stuff, you have more energy and just feel better overall. This idiom highlights the simple yet powerful truth that our diet plays a vital role in shaping our physical and even mental state. So eat your greens, folks. Chapter 6. Ever gotten away with something you probably shouldn't have? Well, that's where scot-free comes in. This idiom means to escape punishment or consequences entirely. But what's interesting is its etymology. Scot in this context doesn't refer to people from Scotland, and it actually comes from an Old Norse word scot, which means payment or contribution. So scot-free literally meant free from payment. And over time, its meaning shifted to encompass freedom from any kind of penalty. It's a reminder that language is constantly evolving, often in surprising and unexpected ways. Chapter 7. The golden rule of travel and cultural immersion. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. This idiom encourages adaptability and respect for different customs and traditions. It's a reminder that what might be considered normal in one culture could be perceived as unusual or even offensive in another. Think about it. You wouldn't wear flip-flops to a formal dinner party, right? Well, the same principle applies when we navigate different cultures. This idiom promotes understanding and empathy, urging us to embrace the diversity of human experience. Chapter 8. Let's talk about accuracy and precision with the phrase, hit the nail on the head. This idiom describes perfectly identifying the root cause of a problem or situation. Imagine you're trying to hammer a nail straight. You could swing wildly and miss the mark, or you could hit it squarely on the head, driving it in with a satisfying thud. That's the essence of this idiom. It's about clarity, focus, and getting to the heart of the matter. Whether we're solving a complex equation or having a difficult conversation, hitting the nail on the head is always the goal. Chapter 9. All right, let's lighten the mood with a playful one. You're joshing me. This phrase simply means to tease or joke with someone. It's a way to inject humor and lightheartedness into a conversation. The origin of joshing is a bit uncertain, but it likely emerged in the late 19th century as a slang term. I've read that it references Josh Billings, the humorist who lived from 1818 to 1885 and during the U.S. Civil War. Known for a number of quotes attributed to him. You can Google him. Another more plausible story is that it came from when a young man named Josh Tatum noticed that nickels minted in 1883 were almost the same as $5 gold pieces in terms of size and design. He and a friend began to electroplate these coins and pass them off as $5 pieces, eventually amassing a small fortune before being caught. What's fascinating is how this simple phrase has endured the test of time, becoming a staple in casual conversations. It's a reminder that even in a world often filled with seriousness, there's always room for chuckling at the audacity of scammers and swindlers eventually getting caught. Chapter 10. And finally, we come to the last straw, an idiom that perfectly captures the point of no return. It refers to the final annoyance or burden that pushes someone beyond their limit of patience or tolerance. Imagine a camel carrying a heavy load. Each additional straw placed on its back might seem insignificant, but eventually there comes a point when even the smallest straw will break its back. That's the essence of this idiom. It's about recognizing that our capacity for endurance has its limits. It's a reminder to be mindful of the burdens we carry and to communicate our needs before we reach our breaking point. So, there you have it. A whirlwind tour of some of the most common English idioms and their fascinating origins. From birds in hand to leopards with unchanging spots, these phrases offer a glimpse into the evolution of language and the enduring power of storytelling. Hopefully, you've gained a newfound appreciation for the colorful tapestry of the English language and the often quirky, sometimes profound stories behind the phrases we hear and use every day. Please remember to subscribe, smash the notification bell and like buttons, and share this video to a friend who would benefit from it. Thanks for watching, and we'll look for you in the next video.